Hello, welcome to Line War. I'm John Joe, and today we're watching a 2v2 tournament match against Alpha Team, who is Someone Said That My Nickname Sucks, alongside AKAMisk, which I've done that backwards. This is Someone Said That My Nickname Sucks. This is AKA versus Romad QuantumScientist, which is up here, and Daseabneren, who is down on this section, and both teams have their own name. I believe Alpha Team's name is Commandos Are Just Invisible Tanks, and Bravo's team is called Schrödinger's Can. You don't want to open up that can. But it looks like both teams are going for eco quite heavily. So we've got two towns coming from Nickname and an industry alongside a factory and a barracks. He knows that he's got some competition, I think, because Bravo team didn't have too many options. I'm going to turn off Fog of War completely, and Daz is taking over some territories in this section. Alpha team could have also started on this island at the bottom, so could Bravo at the top, I think, but it wasn't very, well, sort of this area, it wasn't really an effective place to start. So AKA is also going for two towns, no industry though, and getting a navy yard up straight away. Quantum's going for two navy yards, three navy yards, barracks, and two towns. Two towns seem to be a popular way to start this at the minute. So these two players are engaging now. I think Nickname's rushed forward to see what's over there. And he has come in contact with Daz. He's bringing his units back now. So now he knows what he's up against. It's going to be quite a few infantry for Daz in the right place. And that was probably quite a good idea for Nickname to rush ahead a bit. He knows now what he's up against. And he doesn't have too much to expand to behind him, so he can get just a few units to go and gather for him. He's bringing out some boats here as well, and they're going to come over and get this energy well for him. And there is an energy well in this section as well, if he wanted to go for it. He's trying to stop Daz from getting this energy well. There isn't any other energy wells for him either, so he needs this well if he's going to actually use these air units. Daz is getting a scout out off on AKAMisk, and he is going to encounter some resistance. There is a SAM unit here already. And I think the AKA is going to go for a fair bit of SAM, but he's also already setting up some power plants. He doesn't have much energy. In fact, let's have a look. There isn't that much energy on this map, but there is a few in quite specific locations. So there is this section here, which has 3 energy wells in one tight location. There's 2 here, but one's in the water. I suppose there's one in the water there too. And AKA is going to have to try and expand backwards to try and get some energy wells as well. So over here, Daz has managed to kill off quite a few units. He's trying to get into a nice formation. And Nickname has literally given them the runaround over here. But let's have a quick look up here, because we know there's a boat coming in. So all these units trying to go over here to grab some territory, and not Nickname, Romad is bringing in a boatload of infantry, potentially able to take out this town. There isn't much that Romad can do to respond to this. He can only bring back the units he's got. And he realizes that he's trying to do something about it right now. We'll have a look down here, and I think these two players are pretty much evenly matched in this little battle that's going on here. The helicopter's been brought in to help with this. But I want to look at Daz's energy, because he's going to run out eventually. So he needs these helicopters to be as efficient as possible in this early stage of the fight. But both players pretty much killing each other off in the middle section, and now they've got their backup coming in. Nickname's got quite a few artillery units coming here. And AKA just picked up Nickname. He's literally just taken some units for him. be fair, an ally in a previous match done this to me. He literally just came in and took my units, and they just ran away with them. Over here, the infantry invasion did manage to get that town, which is going to hinder AKA quite a bit now. But he is going for another town over here. He will be able to rebuild this one, and probably that won't happen again. But what it is Romad doing, he's trying to get the energy up and running. So has he got much going for him yet? Romad, he does have an energy well, which is probably this one here. And he's building up some extra storage, which is actually quite good. I feel like in this match you're going to need a lot of energy. Oh, that was a good move from AKA. So we've got the energy well being built here. Both players knew that Daz needed this location. So having this cruiser come down into this spot, he's going to have to be taken out. There is no question about it. They can shoot this energy well, and there isn't much Daz can do about it apart from this helicopter, and he needs another one. He could get the artillery in there and try and take it out, which is something he's actually going to have to do very soon. And AKA has also invaded this area, conquered this territory, and now Daz has two players to fight against, both in the sea and on the land. I don't know if they're going to snipe the energy well, but even if the sea unit doesn't get it, which it doesn't, he's now got to rush over to this side to protect it from the infantry moving in. Now Romad is also moving across the top of the map. He's trying to come over to this island. Both players, by the looks of it, are trying to come over to this island. I know Nickname was doing stuff over here, so he's building up extra eco, which is not going to be good for Daz, because Daz isn't too worried about building up his production right now. And both players here are going to hold back Daz, while Nickname eco's up for later. Romad's got quite a few boats moving into this section, and now he's going to attack this town over here. Romad's doing a very good job at a bit of harassment tactics, trying to take out the eco of the opponent. And we'll have a look at AKA's side of things. In fact, we'll have a go through all of their eco right now. So Nickname is on 630. AKA is on 600, but he's about to lose some if he doesn't defend from this. Romad is on 550 and Daz is on 540, so Bravo team is a little behind on the economy, but Romad might be making up for it with these harassments. Daz is prioritizing a good formation, I think, but so is Nickname. Got a nice little curve on that. He deleted it though. Wasn't big enough for him. He spotted the AKAs over here and he's sending out the helicopters to try and take out what they can, and that is a good choice there, because there is nothing to protect them from the helicopters, and I don't think Nickname has any anti-air either. There we go, they do snipe this building over here, and they're going to move out towards this section. They will actually be able to take out some structures too, and I don't think Romad has much in the way of defending, so pretty much Alpha team are focusing on Daz, while Romad is trying to support them and stop them from destroying Daz. Nickname's got a good line on his artillery right now that are currently arcing around this front line. So I think Daz needs to pull back his artillery, maybe to behind this mountain range, and as soon as they start moving over, that's when you push back. The helicopters took out AKA's front building here, and these destroyers are able to attack this location, although there is a missile ship in there. The helicopters are flying over and doing extra damage on this section, and we do still have an interceptor, but I don't know if either player really has any air units. They do not. So Daz is the only player with air units at the moment. Those destroyers do take that out. They're going to be able to swing around this side as well if they can defend from these two units. They might be able to take out this structure, but both players are building up their navy as well, and they're coming into this section. And I think they're not too worried about what's happening to AKA right now. They're going to try and take out the energy well for this air army, this air force. There we go, so they are going to be able to take out AKA there. I think Romad spotted this industry and decided he was going to attack it, and he changed his mind. And now he's rechanged his mind. He's just repositioning of the line, I think. There we go, the helicopters have been pulled back to try and deal with this navy. I think Romad wanted the energy well from this water bit. And the helicopters here are doing a great job defending. This cruiser is going to run straight into this area, trying to get away from the helicopters. And the helicopters changing their focus onto this destroyer. They should have carried on with this one, but unfortunately Daz doesn't have control over what they target. But now Romad is going quite offensive here. He's going to try and take out the structures for the Navy yards. And deciding against it in the end after seeing the two units there. Romad is going quite heavy into Navy units, but I can imagine that's quite harsh for his energy. That's AKA, not Romad. There we go. But he has a lot of storage, so he's able to build it up over time, and he does have a third energy well potentially there. And now Daz is moving in against Nickname, and to be fair, he's got quite a few units moving in. I would probably set up circle commands just here and here, which is something you'd probably see me do every now and then, so that your units build up a little bit before they actually go in for the attack. Helicopters are being sent just over here to try and take out the Navy. Spotting two exposed cruisers, but they're not going to target it. No, they're just slightly out of range, unfortunately. Trying to make sure I see what's going on around the map. So Romad has come over to this island. He's got a barracks set up already, and he's got some units expanding across it. But so does AKA, pretty much the exact same way I just described for Romad. There we go, so these artillery moved in, and there wasn't enough to hold back this attack, and Nickname just went straight into the offensive and is now surrounding these artillery. From Romad's perspective, he's got some units here, they're just repairing for now. And Romad is trying to spot and snipe anything that they can find. He's got this energy well he's spotted here, but I don't think he's too worried about it. Or he hasn't spotted it yet. He's trying to come through the back here, knowing that Nickname will probably take this energy well as well. And so does Daz. Daz has got his submarine pen, and they're going to go for this area too. I think they know that's what Nickname's trying to do. I think they think he's already done it, to be fair. There's another energy well coming out here, but if Romad gets his units around here, they'll be able to shoot that. The sub pen won't be able to, though. The helicopters are moving straight in for the structures, but there's quite a few SAM here. So even if you delete this line, they're going to cut across this area, and Nickname is stopping that path. So this might be the last thing the helicopters here do. There we go, as they're running away, they are being shot at by these SAM units. That one might survive. It does, but just by the skin of its teeth. But now Daz has got quite a few artillery here, and he's able to push back very soon. There hasn't been the engagement up here just yet. And I've just spotted Nicknames actually hiding up in this section here, building up some extra eco. So I can imagine he is going to expand really rapidly soon. And these helicopters spot the energy well here, so they're going to target that. And we've got a commando moving towards this airfield, so Daz is expecting to be able to use these commandos against Nickname. And to be fair, I think he will. Be able to cut across the water here, target straight into that, and drop commandos directly on top of these buildings. Over here, Romad is trying to build up some extra vision and scout out AKA. AKA, he's turned off the production of these structures here so that they don't keep spending his money. That way he can build up some of his other stuff, like the towns. Though he doesn't seem to be too worried about it right now. He's leaving them out for a bit because they keep getting harassed. Over here, Nickname's trying to defend this energy well. And we have the submarines out. There is a destroyer just here, so they will probably be able to... Being two of them, they might be able to take out that destroyer. And Romad did actually take out this energy well. We are going to have the engagements on this island soon, so we'll come back to see how they react to that. But over here, the artillery are actually moving in on the energy well now. It's not just the helicopters. And they managed to take that out. So AKA struggling on energy, as we can see, and that's probably because of the Navy use right now. Whereas Nickname, he is quite low energy as well. Romad's able to get better energy, so he's going to be able to do really well in the waters. But he just doesn't have enough units in the water right now. Or at least not in one group. And he's about to be able to get more energy, so he's got this one and this one potentially able for him to use soon. And Daz still only has this one energy well, but that is about all he needs. He will be able to take out this energy well soon as well. But the helicopters are coming in to help take out these submarines, and as this one comes by the path of the destroyer, that can't win one-on-one, so even if this interceptor takes it out, I think the destroyer will destroy the submarine before it takes out the energy well. I could be wrong, the energy well is heavily damaged. And the interceptor's doing some damage as much as it can as well. But it does manage to destroy the submarine beforehand, but the interceptor still might be able to get it. I think it's targeting the destroyer though. And just as the helicopters come in, the interceptor, it probably won't be able to take out that energy well anymore with the helicopters there and the ship there distracting it. But we do have a large amount of artillery moving in, and I think it's got two commando lines, so I don't know where he's planning to put those commandos. But it looks like Romad is sending a force directly into the middle of AKA's base. He has some artillery right here, and he's got the commandos coming in over... Not commandos, infantry and commandos. Trying to take out some structures over here. And AKA is slowly trying to give chase to Romad. But Romad's literally just out of range. I'm not too worried. This is a good place to attack, to be fair, because of the choke point. They can't come through all at once. This is probably the best way you can try and fight that army. Or navy. But now Daz is pushing pretty hard down against Nickname. I would like to have a quick look at their economy to see how this is going, because I expected that Nickname would probably have an economy boom, having all these structures down here and up on this island here, but he hasn't actually built much on the island. So, we'll have a look. Nickname's got 770, AKA has 630, Romad has 770, and Daz has 650. Both teams are pretty much equal in economy. Building up a good artillery force here, and it's not being challenged too much by AKA just yet. Anything on this island right now could probably take on AKA's forces there, so it's all about the production. He has increased the production again, and he's sending his forces straight to this airfield first. Daz in the bottom here is being attacked by the helicopters, but the SAM are able to take that out as they come in. He's got both sides covered by SAM, and they're doing a very good job of protecting this force of artillery as it pushes through into this structure area. Also, Nickname having a very similar idea with Commandos, and he's sending off this attack. I'm not sure where those commandos are going. So yeah, the artillery are pushing in quite heavy here, and I think the commando jet just decided to go back. Up in the north, this invasion push is doing a good job, but I don't think Romad has many transport boats yet. Or, well, actually he does. He just doesn't have the production here to utilize all these transport boats. So eventually, Romad's army will diminish over time. But it is a good attacking point, to be fair. And both players haven't actually made too much progress on this section either. Romad is going to be split between two forces as well. But neither force has the economy to try and expend over here. They're both trying to protect their main islands. Daz has turned off his sub-pen over here, but he hasn't managed to take this out yet. And I can see Daz's transport jets going in under the bottom of the map. I don't even know how he drew there. You can't actually get the line there unless you're on this. You can't even see it on that part. But anyway, the commandos are dropping in just here, so they're going to take out some of the economy for Nickname. I think Nickname has spotted this. He's sending in some units to go check that out. Not enough units to defend though, so Nickname's going to have to do something about that as well. But he is losing ground on this front line here, and they are going to push forward through his base. On this side of it though, the artillery are pushing through. They're going to actually potentially take out this town. More units are being poured in through the top section just there. And AKA is setting up a line here to try and deal with any navy that tries to come through this path. Over here, Nickname's fairly exposed. He does have one factory, but Romad just needs some units to be able to send over there to try and capture some of the land. Daz has some strikers coming in. They're trying to take out this airfield. Trying to prevent the commandos from getting anywhere else on the map. But unfortunately for Nickname, he is about to lose his main location. And these commandos were going to come this way, I think is what Nickname was thinking, but they're going to go up north instead and take out these navy yards. A destroyer catching some missile boats off guard here, but I think 2 missile boats will destroy that destroyer. Over here, Romad is on the move with his main army force, and they're on haste mode, which at this point is this is an energy drainer. They're literally looping in a circle on haste mode. He needs to delete this line, I think, or at least not have destroyers on it. Now this could be a problem. I'm not sure if these barracks are in range of these cruisers, but they could try and catch some of these units as they go down. The Nickname is under a lot of pressure right now. He did manage to take out these commandos before they destroyed a structure, which I didn't actually think he'd do, but he did get the artillery there quick enough. And I think he's bringing back the destroyers here and here so that they can focus on this choke point. Any units moving through will have to take on the navy before they pass on through. But it looks like Nickname's going to lose this airfield next, and potentially some energy. But I think AKA has managed to repel this invasion for now. And has also been able to push forward up here. He's got quite a lot of infantry taking the damage in for the small amount of artillery. Both players pretty much did the same thing, but it looks like AKA is coming out on top. we do have some SAM over here that are trying to run away from the army that's moving forward. And some Commandos hiding in defense in the mountains. They're lying down. Romad is struggling to move this army, and with this army coming in from AKA, which is also struggling to move because of the amount of harassment and energy, lack of energy on the map. But it looks like red team is winning in this section of the island. And I guess Nickname is going to move over to this location whilst trying to defend in this corner here. Over in this section, Daz does have the ability to use these commandos a bit more. And he is trying to cross over as well now, so he thinks he's got the... Wait, I say he thinks. He knows he's got the upper hand against Nickname right now. And Nickname's not going to do too much about it. I think he's just willing to lose this section of the map in favour of trying to push forward against Romad in this top section now. So Daz is going to spread out and try and take on AKA, while Romad is still trying to invade in this little section here. But he's not bringing enough units in over enough of the time. I don't know if he's got any more structures over here producing for him. Not more, no. But there we go, we've got a helicopter on the ground there, I think. And the interceptors have spotted that, they're going to take that out for free. Over here though, we're reaching the choke point where the destroyers, or missile ships there, are potentially going to start targeting these units. Don't think they're going to be too effective at it, but they will slow down the enemy. And unfortunately for Romad, he's losing the fight against AKA, and he's going to be even more surprised when Nickname starts to move around this area. Nickname focusing heavily on economy to try and get a boost back into this game. The problem is, when you start taking out an opponent, so like Nickname had a lot of production in these mountains, so Daz took him out, which gave him a massive increase in economy. So there is a big chance that you can make a comeback in this game if you start losing at first, especially on these island type maps, where it's not easy to get your units in mass to the opponent. But now with a cruiser in the ocean as well, this is going to start really damaging these artillery as they try and pass through. But if there's too much artillery here to actually take out Nickname. Nickname is willing to defend this location now. He's got some structures set up and he's going to try and push back. Daz is sending some units in forward as well, and they're going to come through this section. And Romad has switched up. He's going to come onto this land here and push from there. Having both players push there might actually be very beneficial to taking out AKA, and Romad's trying to bring his units down this way, and I think he's actually been able to push back. He's got a few more artillery and a bit more of an effective line, I guess, where they're coming through all together. But I think Romad has spotted Nickname up here, and he's going to potentially set up a defense. But when you're up against the artillery, there is no point in doing the defense with infantry unless you're simply just trying to stop the enemy. So down here, the artillery have pushed through, but some are straying further forward than they need to. And some more destroyers are going to come in and try and take on these artillery units here. And we've got the Commandos moving out once again, I think, or are they returning? I think they're returning. AKA has spotted this force coming through and is trying to set up a line to defend up against it, but he's exposing this area as well. So Romad might actually be able to push again, even with such a small force. And over here, Romad is actually pushing once again. He'll clear this army up pretty quickly, but Nickname is going to come in to try and help him in this location. And I didn't notice that, but Nickname has a trade route set up. So that would definitely be helpful for Nickname right now, and I may as well have a look at the economy just to see how it's standing now. So we've got 920 from Nickname, AKA has 700, Romad has 800, and Daz has 800 as well. So that is actually still kind of equal. I think they're doing pretty well to actually stay up against each other like this and keep the eco balanced. We've got the artillery out pushing for AK's base over here, and Romad's about to join in on the fun. Both sections. And is that Daz? Yeah, he's got some Commandos that dropped in at Romad's base. He found the defense, I think, and he's just going in the back, taking out some territory. And Red is pulling back, trying to build up their numbers before they advance once again, which might give Romad the time he needs to defend against Nickname, or will he just simply push against Romad? If he goes back for Nickname, Romad's going to build up some more production structures and will push back harder later. On the other hand, you are also winning on this island, so town does go down now. And some units have dropped in up this side of the map as well. And they're going to push down through here, which I don't know if it's the best idea, especially when there's artillery in defense. But if it's just for the extra pressure, why not? Especially if you think you're actually going to take that island. Strikers are coming in to try and take on this energy well. They might actually be successful. But there is a missile ship in the water here to protect it. They might have to come back again for their second run. And the artillery are moving through the mountain now, which this place they have the advantage. Especially when they're coming in through this way. The artillery is still crossing the island and they're trying to take a shortcut now. We've got the force coming in through here. But we've got some more units being dropped off on this part now to try and further surround AKA just there. Now Romad is building another factory here, but it could just be at the worst time possible as Nickname brings their units round. And AKA is pushing his units forward as well, pretty much just because Nickname is up here doing the same. Which means these artillery cannot return and defend against Nickname. As you can see, there's a silo here with full energy, so Romad, who's red, has not Romad, sorry, AKA has a lot of energy he can use now. I don't know where his navy is. I think it's just here. And Daz has a few there, just keeping an eye out. And Romad and Daz are actually sharing energy now. But they've teamed up and taken out this middle section of the island. Just trying to keep an eye on what's going on elsewhere in the map. Nickname is once again building up some barracks to try and push Daz back out of this, but also has two airfields, which he had a bit earlier. Oh, and he lost his trade route. I didn't see what happened though. Well, something came down and attacked this town and docks there. And completely took it out. Anyway. The force is coming over here. Now they've got some hellers to deal with. They do have Sam there, so I think they'll be fine. I think Daz has got this attack down to a T. So I think he's progressing there really well. Over here, him and Romad have pretty much conquered this island completely. There's a few units still left behind on it, but that's about it so far. Let's have a look at the big picture right now. So, yeah, Bravo team are doing a really good job of controlling this area. I mean, they've got majority of the map. I mean, Nickname does have a good location here with the town and the trade route, and they are reclaiming this island. But they're going to be on such a small area of the map in the end. I don't know if they're going to be able to come back from it. But Romad's doing the same as he loses his main location. Not Romad. AKA's doing the same as he's losing his main location. Is eco boosted, so he's been spending it on some eco structures. We've got the industry being built over here. And now Romad on this island is surrounded by AKA and Nickname. But he does have a few units coming in. We're just capturing some territory as their base gets destroyed. But over here, Nickname has got a few units set up, but Romad is absolutely denying him this area right now. And Daz can see with the vision from Romad, the airfield by the looks of it, and he's going to send his units in straight through the top here. And will probably control this island all to himself soon. And Romad's transport boats, even though he's got too many for his own units, he can use them for Daz as well, and he's going to send them across over here, I would have thought. Or he could probably send them just across here and try and attack the base as well, because it's going to be very difficult to try and rescue what's here. But we just don't know until he does it, so... What is going on over in this section? So they are taking out pretty much all of Nickname's eco in this section. And AKA's brought his navy down to try and deal with the forces from Romad. But I don't think he's going to be able to win that engagement. And most of the units are actually staying back for Romad. Oh, we've had someone leave. That was AKA, I think. Alpha team had lost. And because this was the bracketed rounds, I believe that means Alpha team or Commandos are just invisible tanks are out, if I remember correctly. So, Romad and Daseabneren's Schrödinger's can are progressing forward towards the finals. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, which is on screen right now. There's 2 videos there if you'd like, and thanks for watching.